And we are live. And then I start talking. I said this on Friday and I'm saying it again. When I do this broadcast thing, I never know when we're live. There's always a slight little delay there, but it does say live. Okay, today we are here because we want to do another little presentation and show you guys what's happening on the inside. As you know, I'm Anne from Anne's Norwegian Knitting, and we are doing the wool month, the Norwegian wool month this month. That is actually a sequence that's leading up to us having new intakes to all our courses and memberships. And there's always a lot of questions around that. So what we have experienced is that, having people that have actually experienced and done these things, it's so much better, and have them come in and tell is so much better than I standing there getting blue in my face trying to explain to you what this is all about. So today, what we've done today is this is the last of the panels. We started off with a mountain journey panel, and then we did the Northern Light panel last Friday. This Monday, today, we are doing, we're focusing on the courses, and then we're focusing on those courses that they are part of all the journeys, not all the journeys, but the fjord and the Northern Light, you will get these automatically included. But these courses that we're going to focus on tonight is the level 1 and the level 2, and those can be bought separately as well for those who want that. And with us today, we have some fabulous knitters, as always. I am so happy to be that you are here. We have Rachel. And Rachel has been with us a bit less than a year, but she's, trotting along and even found her way into the Northern Light, haven't you? But you started the level 2 this spring. And then we have Anita. And Anita has been around in my world for 2.5 years. She started with a nice challenge, which in March 24, and I think that's the last time we did the nice challenge. Actually, we might have done it in the autumn of 24, but we haven't done it since. And you started on your level 2 last autumn, but didn't really get started, and then you continued this spring, and now you're going to move on this autumn, right? Then we have Tiffany, and Tiffany has been with me for like a year or so. She's one of those who dived in and joined the Northern Light last August. So she started her level 2 last August. And then finally, I'm going to, Steph is here as well. She's going to lead this session in a few seconds. And then we have Sally Ann. And Sally Ann joined in December, right? And you did the level 2 this spring. You're in the progress of doing level 2. So there we go. With that, I think actually we're just going to dive in. And Steph, I'm going to give you the microphone, and I'm going to mute myself for as long as I manage. I do, me, I have this urge to say stuff, so I'll chip in now and then.
Well, we'll go around the room. Rachel, tell us why you joined Anne's Norwegian Knitting.
So I was a lurker to Anne's Norwegian Knitting for a number of years, and I'm going to confess that I wasn't even a very good lurker because I didn't even know that she had as much free materials as she does. But on December 5th, Anne sent an email about you're never going to be ready for color work. Like, you're never going to feel ready for color work. You're never going to feel ready to knit that sweater. And I joined Anne's Norwegian Knitting that December as a result of that specific email because twofold. I'm closer to my last day of work than my first day of work. And I've been taking up all kinds of hobbies. But when I was younger, my mom knit herself a Irish knit sweater with all the cables and the baubles and the seed stitch. And she wore that sweater up until she passed. And I kind of wanted that experience of something that I had hand knit. And I knew that I could get the skills that I needed to accomplish that goal in Anne's Norwegian Knitting.
That is a very cool story. I didn't know that, Rachel. So I love that. That was great.
Yeah, I loved it even more because that was proof that all my emails, they actually do work.
Anita, why did you join?
I think it was something that popped up on Facebook about a nice challenge and mindful knitting, and my world at that time was rather chaotic, and mindfulness was something I really needed. And I dabbled in knitting, i.e., I could knit a dishcloth and a scarf that looked like a long dishcloth, and I did a hat. And then somebody told me I should knit socks, so we were on a camping trip. So anyways, I knew I needed the mindfulness. I needed to knit a little bit more, so I thought, well, I'm going to try this nice challenge and see how it goes, because I don't know about this online stuff. And I loved it. So that led me to, and I liked the teaching style. So then I signed up for more, which started with just the power of knitting because I was a very basic knitter. So, and here I am.
Here you are. We'll talk about that more about here you are. Tiffany, why did you join?
Hello. I joined last year after attending Wool Month last year. And I just thought this is really a fabulous group of knitters with so much knowledge and sharing. So my main thing of joining was to get better with color work, as well as steeking. I've heard about it, I've seen videos of it, and I'm like, I'm not going to cut into my knitting. Like, there's no way. So that was one of my goals, to do that. And just as an additional bonus, I found all these lovely ladies that encourages me in trying new things and knitting new projects. So I'm glad to be here.
We're glad you're here too. And Sally Ann, thank you for joining us from your vacation.
You're welcome.
That's a dedication. So why did you join?
Well, it was before Christmas, and I'd been knitting lots of chunky wool acrylic hats and scarves, and I was very happy with them. I thought they were great, and I was wearing my hats and scarves with pride. But I realized that there was so much more to knitting. And I think because I'd entered into that sort of algorithm thing on Facebook, I kept getting all these pictures of beautifully knit, stranded knitting, stranded colour work, different types of colour work, which I tried 10 years ago and failed miserably at. Horribly, and had never done it since. But all these pictures kept coming up, and I just fell in love with the style of knitting. So I googled courses, how to learn to do this thing, and I thought to myself, next year I'm going to have a go. I'm going to give it a try. And Norwegian Knitting came up, and I genuinely thought I'd just bought a course. A few videos would arrive, I'd learn how to do it, and away I'd go. And it didn't really quite work out like that. It was just such a revelation that there was this whole community behind the knitting, behind the courses, and I found there was so much help. The ladies were very quick to offer advice and help, and of course you and Anne always there to offer advice. And suddenly I realized, this was a community I really enjoyed being part of. So I joined the mountain group from there.
Great. We'll talk about that more, but looking for classes, you live in a remote location.
Yes.
So, and you have a beautiful accent. So the online classes, I'm sure, were key for you. Yeah,
definitely. Because there was nowhere at home that I could have gone and learned that. And I really couldn't do it on my own. Books were not cutting it. I mean, books were just going out the window. It just wasn't working for me. But having the videos and being able to follow, pause, do a little bit more, pause, that really did help. Yeah.
We'll come back to that, Sally. I have to be unmuted. Rachel, Tell me what you learned in level. You did level 0, level 1, and level 2, and then I know you brought along some projects to show us.
Yeah. So, so
Rachel, you're breaking. Is Rachel breaking up for everybody or just me?
Yeah, she is. You're breaking up a lot. We can't hear you, Rachel. I don't know what that is.
Rachel, why don't you try your chords and I'll go on to Anita and come right back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Try plugging in your chords or, I don't know, messing around with them. Anita.
Yes.
One of the things that, Anita, I have to say, you're probably in the whole of Anne's Norwegian Knitting the person I am the most proud of. Because when you and I first started, you were just finishing level 0, deciding if you should go to level 1, and you told me in several months into that you wanted to someday be the person who could answer questions.
Did I really?
You did. And guess what? You have been.
I did the other day.
You did. You've several times you've jumped in and answered questions. So I am so proud of you. But another thing that is so cool about you is, Anita, you really follow and you are where you're supposed to be and you knit at your own pace. And you don't let other people push you or bug you. And I just want you to talk about how it's okay in our world to knit at your own pace.
Oh, absolutely. That to me, I mean, coming off of the nice challenge and my reasons for joining that, then having to face the fact that I'm really slow and not very confident, or was really slow and not very confident with my knitting. And then everybody's zooming along, and then I'd hear that mantra come again. You are not behind, you're where you're supposed to be. And I'm sitting there, well, that's easy to say, but anyways, it is easy to say now because I'm actually mindfully knitting, joyfully knitting, and it's okay. It isn't a competition. I'm knitting for me to make beautiful things, and someday they'll all be finished. But I'm trying to get into the 2+ group. I'm getting close. It's my goal. But I mean, when I started with the NICE challenge, I thought this was mission impossible. Knitting something tiny like this in the round, it just seemed impossible. And it's amazing. I've learned how to do cables, which still boggle my mind, but the tutorials are just fantastic. And it's just, the group is so encouraging, just being part of something, even though, I'm sitting in my own house or in my truck camping. It's just a wonderful skill to have, to be happy where you're at, doing what you're doing with a group of really supportive people. I think for me, it's quite transformative, actually. So does that answer the question?
Absolutely. That was a great answer.
Yeah, and can I say something?
Yeah.
I promise. I did promise I'm not going to talk that much, but this is so extremely important to me, so I cannot not comment on it. And you know this, Anita, because I am equally proud of the progress that you've done, but also the fact that you've been able to, because I saw it in your eyes in the beginning when I said you're not behind, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I could see the kind of, not annoyance, but I could see that little spark in your eyes thinking, I mean, that's bloody easy to say. Sorry for my swearing. I've been too long in Britain. And then, but I keep saying it because I mean it from the bottom of my heart, that when you join one of my courses or enter into my world, there is nothing that is called speed knitting, that it's not accepted. There are quick knitters, there are doubly slow knitters, but you are exactly where you're supposed to be and nowhere else, right? And you, Anita, is the perfect example, as Steph said. about showing an example of a person that, okay, I hear you, I don't think I'm quite there, but I'm gonna work on it, and you've been persistent, have you stayed? And now the way how far you've come is just, a school book example of how I want people to approach their knitting, really. So
It's
there you
quite
go.
mind-boggling, actually, the transformation. When you asked me to come on in this panel, it was like, me. And then when I started thinking and pulling out everything I've done in Anne's world, I was like, wow, I've come a long way.
You have
And I
come
love the natural fibers, forget the acrylics and all that kind of stuff. It's so much easier to knit with real wool. When you drop a stitch, it's not gone forever. It's like right there, hanging on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And your sweater, your level 2 sweater that you're working on that you showed us fits you perfectly. So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's quite amazing, actually. The system works. Gotta trust it.
Trust the system. Yep. So, Anita, what are you going to do next? You're working on your level 2. Is that your upcoming fall project, is to continue level 2? What do you want to do after that?
Well, I want to finish this one, maybe by September 17th when level 2 starts again. And when I bought the yarn, great community. There's a local, somewhat local shop that sells the Hillsvog yarn. So she had this sudden sale, and I went online and I said, does anybody tell me how much wool I need? Because I can get it on a sale price. So, but I didn't realize, that was based on 50-gram balls, and these were 100-gram balls. So I have enough for 2 sweaters. So I'm torn between making a level 2 cardigan, because then I have to face this fear of steeking. I'm kind of like, Tiffany, you want to cut my knitting? But, you keep hearing about it and hearing about it. It seems more possible now. So that's either that or something else that I can use my yarn I already have for. So I really like the Nidero sweater as well. Well, I like all of them. And then I do have my Eternity shawl, but I think it'll be a cardigan, going step by step through that.
Okay, cool. You'll do it.
We're going to find projects for you. Don't worry. You know me.
I don't want to overwhelm myself. I want to challenge myself.
Yeah, and that is such a good phrase, that there's a difference between overwhelming yourself and challenging yourself, and it's such an important difference. And you are, impersonating that one so well. I can't tell you how happy I'm that you're here, that you've done what you've done, going, and your journey.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're awesome. Okay. Rachel, you want to try again?
Yeah, I ended up switching to my phone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. It's perfect.
Okay. So I am literally a self-taught knitter. I used to craft when I was younger, but I could never figure out how to knit. And then when I decided I needed a hobby, I went to Michael's and got that teach yourself to crochet and teach yourself to knit. And while I used to crochet when I was younger, I couldn't figure it out. So then I started teaching myself to knit. Here's my practice swatch.
Awesome.
And then when I decided, maybe to follow in my mom's footsteps, like here's my first cable practice.
Ooh, beautiful.
In a little 12 by 12 square. So now when I joined Anne's Knitting, I knew I had a month to teach myself how to do the continental. So I forced every stitch in this project to be done the continental style and not to cheat and throw anything. So I finished this in time.
That's the scarf in level 0, right?
This is the scarf in level 0. This is the mini scarf.
Yeah.
There's another version that's a little bit larger that has a little keyhole. This is my level 1 fingerless mitten, where on one side, you do the 2 sides to practice the dominance. I got 1 done. I have a hat. I don't have anything to show you because I discovered that I turned the chart sideways. So I pulled the hat out and reused the yarn to work on the cowl.
Mm-hmm.
I had more of the cowl done. The cowl, I'm at the point where you start doing short rows.
Yes.
And then what happened is I noticed that my gauge going from the color work to the plain got a little off.
Yeah.
And then with the short rows, my first time doing it, I started getting confused to where I was. So I ripped the short rows out and I still have my needles in to come back to it.
Perfect.
So then what I did is I decided I at least learned enough with the floats and stuff that I did start the level 2 class. And this is my first hat that I did in level 2, practicing like the gauge. And this was where I also learned how to do the catching the floats, like using the needles and not manually twisting it.
Yep.
I didn't love my first hat, so because I'm here as a new beginner, I actually knit a second hat during the class.
And do you love that one?
Where I tried different things and tried to see if I could get a little bit closer to the gauge,
Yeah.
since I had learned that gauge is important to actually getting a garment that would fit you.
Do you love the second hat?
I do. There's actually parts of both of them that I like. And then I did go on one vacation, and I knew that I didn't want to bring one of my larger projects. So I actually did on my vacation in March. I actually did one of the Easter eggs so I could practice double point needles, because I assume, as I actually do have behind me, I don't know how well you can see it now that I had to change to my phone. I'm at the sleeves, and I assume I eventually will have to learn to maneuver double point needles. So this was like a little practice thing that I took with me on a plane to work on that.
This is what we call proactive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
great,
kind of what
Rachel.
I've done the past 8, and I'm at the point where I'm at level 2. I'm just probably have a row or 2 left of the ribbing, and then I get to tackle the sleeves. But I promise to be patient and not disrupt the people who are just starting casting on level 2s when we start back up in a couple weeks.
Don't worry, because your sweater is inspiration.
Yep.
For sure. So I remember you came in your V's, and we talk a lot about in level 1 and level 2, making sure the V's and your stitches are beautiful. And I know your V's have really improved. So that's one of your big bonuses is I've watched your progression, and your knitting is getting more and more beautiful.
Thank you.
It's practice, I'm sure, but yeah, your stuff is just gorgeous. Yeah.
I will tell you, I was worried when I got to the plain white knitting. I wasn't confident that I would get through it because I had tried to do like a little tank top, and just knitting in the round, one single color, round and round and round, I lost interest. But for somehow maybe just knowing that there was color work at the end. But I am going to go back through level 1 and level 2 next year, because I took out of level 1 and level 2 this year what I could get out of it. There are things of like not breaking the rows in the hats and creating a dogless join. Those are things that I just kind of set aside and said I'm on information overload, and just continued with what I was, and I was happy with the results. But I do know that I still have more to learn in level 0, level 1. So that I do plan to go back through both of them and like finish up the other stitches in Continental and continue on some of the other color work extras, so I can again improve more.
Awesome. And I know you want to talk about that.
That is awesome. And that information overload again, I can't help myself. Sorry, Steph, but that information overload that you say that that's what we keep encouraging, isn't it? I mean, concentrate on 1 or 2 or 3 things. And if you learn about thing number 5 or 6 or 7 and it's too much, leave it. And we tell you that this is not important in the first time. If you're happy right now, concentrate on the floats and your gauge, right? And how to hold your hands, the position. And then that will improve your V's, But then the twist the yarn and all that stuff that comes in addition, it can be done later. And I think if you get to that point where you feel that now is too much and you are at a tipping point, I'm either going to continue or I'm going to drop out. I mean, any day of the week, I would say continue, but leave something out. Do not drop out, because you're going to be so happy that you didn't drop out, right? And I have to say one thing, because you said that you were concerned about the one color section, and that because you lose interest, but now that you have color work at the end to look forward to, I'm just saying, why do you think there is color work at the end? There is more people that lose interest in one color. And yes.
And one of them's named Anne.
Yeah, one of them is named Anne, definitely. Thank you, Rachel.
So we should talk about, Anita and Rachel both talked about going back to level 0 and 1 and 2 and repeating. And here, if you're part of our group, you can do that. You can go back and repeat, and it's not a one-time deal. So yeah,
you can do it again and again and again. And for those of you who are in the chat, you will see a lot of the people in that chat already are people that have done level 2 and level 1 many times because of just that. They come back, and then because the overload thing, it's impossible to pick up everything in the first round. Second round is like, did she say that in the first round? Yes, she did, because the tutorials don't change. They stay the same. So, yeah.
Thanks, Rachel. You're awesome. Tiffany. Miss Tiffany.
Hello.
Tell us about your level 2 experience.
Oh, gosh. I joined after Wool Month last year, and I talked to Anne. I had the option of doing level 2 or level 3, but I knew how complicated level 3 is, so I decided to try the level 2. And initially, it really was all about the color work, and I loved the pattern, the designs that I saw. And then I decided there are 2 options. You could do a pullover or a cardigan, and I decided to do the cardigan. Trying to not think about the sticking part as I was knitting the sweater. And so I actually got most of the knitting done the fall of last year, but then in the spring was when I had to do the finishing work. I'm glad that you guys were there to guide me through it, because sticking is not easy. And again, like rewatching all the videos and the tutorials on how to do it was really, really helpful.
And Tiffany, you cut while we were in a class online.
That is true. Yes.
Everybody in the class was watching your hands. You set it up so we could all watch.
I think that helped, because there's like team support.
Or peer pressure.
Or peer pressure.
Yeah. And I also had to get it done because I wanted to wear it on the trip. So that was another time pressure to get it done so I could actually have something to wear for our trip to Norway. So yeah, let me show you. Well, actually, like the others, I made a swatch. This is my first hat swatch for level 2. It was too small, as you can kind of see. So I found out what my gauge was. And also it was a good test on how the colors that I wanted to use, see how the yellow didn't really pop. So half of my rose is missing. You just look at it. So I made a second hat. This one I made with the yellow in the middle. little bit bigger too. Went up a needle, couple, maybe 2 needle sizes. But then on the other side, I made a dark purple middle for the rose, and I like that better. So I thought, yeah, again, also, I don't like to swatch. Like, this is probably why all my previous sweaters didn't fit. Some are most of them are way too big. I don't know what happens, but so yeah, so this is my second hat that really worked out well, and the gauge was fine. Then I could start the sweater. So this is
But I mean, you said you didn't like to swatch.
no, I don't like to
You
swatch.
said, yeah, you said, I don't like to swatch. But you know, why are we swatching, Tiffany? Because in the next sentence you said something else.
Because so that we can know what our gauge is and so our sweaters fit. Yes.
So you, as you said, you don't like to swatch, and then you said, and which is probably why all my sweaters never fit. It's like, so for those of you who are listening to this and don't like to swatch and are not a part of my world, if there's one thing I want you to take away from today, if that sweater doesn't fit, it has to do with your swatching. Just pick up that swatching habit. End of story.
Yeah.
And the swatching here isn't little 4x4 squares. It's
No.
a hat that matches your sweater, or mittens that match your sweater, or a pot holder that matches your basket, whatever. It's something usable.
Yep.
So it doesn't feel like a 4x4 swatch drudgery. Throw it away when you're done. It's a usable thing. I think that helps in our swatching too. Project bags or whatever. Yeah, makes it not so much of a drudgery. So Tiffany, what are you going to do next?
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to show you guys the front of the cardigan after steeking and ribbing. Yeah, and it fits really, really well.
It fits really well.
And you bought the buttons in Norway, didn't you?
No, my buttons are special buttons from Terry.
Terry's husband made them.
Yeah, that was it. But you were looking for buttons in Norway, but you got Terry's buttons. Yes, that's what happened.
I did shop for buttons when I was in Norway. That was fun. You can't find those nice buttons. But yes, so here it is, completed cardigan.
And you used how many colors? 5 colors in that? 4?
1, 2, 3, 5. Yep.
5 colors. Yep. And it's beautiful.
Yep. Thank you. So thank you, everybody. My next projects, I have a lot to choose from. I think my favorite part is mixing the colors. So I have a lot of yarns and project ready to go, but I need more knitting time. So I'm in the midst of making my Eternity scarf. This is the blue and gold Eternity scarf that I've been kind of working on. No, it's not going to be ready before my son goes to school in 3 weeks, but they can get it when they get it. Maybe graduation.
Are you making that to match the blanket? Or the
No, I don't have one. I don't have a blanket yet.
Okay.
It's just their school colors. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also have I'm making a second level 2. So in level 2 there are 2 patterns, like 2 flower color work patterns that Anne has graciously provided. And this is one, the one I made last year is one, and I'm going to make the other one for my boyfriend, and it's going to be 2 color combination.
Ooh.
This is the base, and this will be the flower part.
Charcoal and
pink,
cognac?
like it's pink, I think.
It's a pink.
Pinkish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I have my set of stole that I'm swatching.
Awesome.
And I also have, speaking of the abundance of patterns on Anne's Anne's website, I have the yarn ready to make the December 2024 sweater. With like a lot of roses on the bottom. I love that sweater so much. So I bought the yarn for it from Suzanne, Sue Fibers, and I can't wait to start that one either. So I got 4 things that highest priority is probably the level 2 sweater when it starts.
Perfect.
It's nice to knit along when everybody else is knitting with the same project. So I might do that. Yeah.
And what are you wearing right now, Tiffany?
Oh, this is my Nita-Rose, which is is it in level 3 or level 2?
Mountain.
Oh, it's in mountain. Okay, yeah. It's a Nita-Rose, but I just, I didn't make it long sleeves because it's very warm here. And I learned how to size this because this is not the yarn that the pattern calls for. And I had to do a lot of math. Did my swatch and had to do math to try to get it. And it fits really, really well.
It does. It fits really, really well. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something we learned in level 2. Level 2, we learned to fit and change to what your gauge is. Yeah.
Yes. The sizing skills I learned in level 2 is going to carry me forward to all different projects. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. And
when you are ready to start that December sweater, remember to have a talk with me first because the neckline on that one is a bit different. So you cannot expect that one to fall as a round neck. Okay, so we'll have a talk about it before you start.
Sounds good. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sally Ann on vacation.
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. So, Sally Ann, you had some size changes when you were knitting your level 2. And we, so tell me about, you needed a little extra help.
I did. Yeah, I did desperately. I had, as you say, I was changing size quite quickly, but I also have a medical condition. That means that I have a big sort of swelling on my tummy that I had to work around. And my measurements for my shoulders, my arms, my chest, my tummy, none of them made sense. None of them matched. They didn't fit into anything. And I very quickly got to the point where I just didn't know where to turn with it. And I thought I'd bitten off way more than I could chew. But thankfully, yourself and Anne stepped in and really helped me work out which size I should be. And encouraged me to sort of believe that it was possible. And I'll be completely honest, I wasn't convinced at first that I could make kind of one shoulder size, one chest size, a different size at the bottom. I wasn't convinced. But yeah, that worked, and it worked really well. It's finished sort of to the bottom of the yoke. I'm about ready now for when we start level 2 again. That's my plan for this year, is to finish that one, and then to ask for your help again to work out which bit goes next. But the different neckline size and the different shoulder size and chest size, they fit beautifully. So it's fitting really well to the point where I'm at now.
Yeah. So many people, patterns are written for an imaginary person, a mannequin or something. And so many of us have, like you're talking about, different size neck that we want and a different size stomach, and how to change, or like I like my arms a little bit bigger. So we teach in level 2 how to change all of that. And everybody gets the support in some way or another. Sometimes it's an online support through Quest. We have a chat group and we have a forum group. So it's an online, you can go online, ask questions, and the whole community can answer. Or if sometimes Anne and I'll step in and answer. And plus there's you have classes, and then we have question and answer online, just question and answer and sit and knit and enjoy each other. So there's lots of places to go if you need help. And Sally and I also want to talk about your color inspirations are so fun. So in Anne's Norwegian Knitting, we don't.
I'm looking at Anne because I know she thinks I'm bonkers.
We have.
I thought you were bonkers. I don't think you were bonkers. I thought you were bonkers. I changed my mind.
So everybody's encouraged to do their own colors, do their own thing. Anne does classes on doing colors, but you stepped out of the box. And Anne and I had a meeting after one time after you told us your colors, and we're like, ooh. And it is so much fun, the colors, how they turned out. You did 1980s colors.
I did, yeah.
You're level 2, and you're on vacation, so you don't have it. But you do have your eternity shawl.
I do, yeah.
Show us that, and you have
Well,
some.
yeah.
Well, you can kind of see it from the Sally Ann as a person. You can see that she's a colorful person just by looking at her, right? And when she showed us those 1980s colors for her level 2, I thought this person is bonkers. And then she started knitting, and I saw the hat, and I was like, okay, I changed my mind. She's not bonkers. She actually knows how to do this. And then
But the thing was, I was knitting it in the year that we've been married for 40 years. It's our Ruby wedding anniversary, which is why we're away on holiday. And so I really wanted that throwback to the 80s for the jumper that I was going to make. That was the inspiration for it. So I went online and I downloaded lots of jumpers and lots of pictures and pattern books and that sort of thing from the 80s. And the colours I thought worked really well. I do love all the other colours. I love the neutrals that everybody makes and wears, and they look fantastic in them. I just think they're beautiful. But when I look at myself, they just aren't me. I know that they're just not, they don't work if I put them on.
But that story, when you tell that story, that adds even more fun to it, and it makes it even more special. And this is what we encourage when you choose your colors, because someone once said, not someone, several of you have said that I trust Anne's choices, and I there's a reason why I like that sweater, because I saw the choice that the colors that Anne picked. Those colors are obviously my colors, because I would never sit down and knit with colors that I don't like, because that life is too short for that, right? Yeah. And that's what I tell you guys, and I want you to find a story, and I want you to go out there and look at a beautiful scenery that you like, or an old memory that you have, or an anniversary thing. So this is perfect, another school book example of how to do this. And then what I also keep saying is that give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Yeah. And we don't start with a sweater. We start with a hat or a small, a gauge project. A swatch, Tiffany. And that's when you find out. And as Tiffany did, she didn't find out that she liked the colors, but she needed to change the order of them, right? So, totally. But, those colors, I thought that's going to be too much. It's not. It's absolutely amazing. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I must admit, I really do love it. I'm so pleased with it. Yeah. And what's really nice, my daughter's only 20, and I made 2 hats like Rachel. Rachel and I did that at about the same time. I made my first hat, which was too small, and I made my second hat. My first hat fit my daughter beautifully, and she now wants a jumper in those colours to match her hat, because she likes the colours as well. But to her, they're retro, they're vintage, which makes me feel great. But hey. I genuinely am vintage, so there you go. But yeah, then so I went on to the colours for my eternity shawl as well, and I wanted them to sort of be brighter, and I wanted them to flow like the muted ones do, but I wanted the brighter shades, and I think that's also coming on really well. Beautiful. So this is about. I did it a pattern wider, so it's going to be slightly wider, and I've done the longer version. So I am a 1 and a bit of finishing it. So that's my next goal, is to get this finished and get wearing this.
So, Sally Ann, you've told us, I'm going to back up a bit. You've told us that somebody told you in your past you tried to do color work and they said it's not for you, don't do it.
Yeah. It was my mum, actually. She was a wonderful mum and she was really encouraging. So I'm not dismissing a lot of what I said, but she had this thing about if you were a sewer or a knitter. And I've always been a sewer. So I've always made clothes. I used to make wedding dresses. That was my business, was designing and making wedding dresses. So I always saw myself as a sewer, not a knitter. But after I started to become ill and I had a stroke, and sewing's quite difficult. Lots of things are more difficult, and I don't do anything as well as I used to. I can do most things again, and I'm very, very lucky. I came through it very well, and I can do things, but I can't do anything quite as well as I could before. But knitting, I was never any good at. So it was kind of like a fresh start. It was something that I didn't have that sort of feeling of, but I'm not that good at it. It's not as good as it would have been. It was new. And I was trying to find things that gave me that. So I was needle felting and knitting, because those were the two things that were new to me. But my mum always used to say, you're one or the other. You're a knitter or you're a sewer. Don't worry about it. You can knit a bit. That's all you're ever going to be able to do, because you're a sewer. You're not a knitter. So I think that was very much in my mind. And when I started trying to do the stranded colour work, then I sort of, as soon as it got difficult, I was sure that it was going to go wrong. And the hats, when I started in my level 1, those first things felt okay. They felt comfortable. I was like, yeah, because they're the easy ones. But as soon as in my head I went on to things that felt more difficult, I was sure it would go wrong. And of course it did, because I think I'd convinced myself that it would. So my first mittens were really difficult. And funnily enough, I was away on a mini break then, and they ended up in the naughty corner, because I just got to the point where every single thing I did with them went wrong.
Yes. And you came on one time. You came on to one of the groups one time and said, I can't do anything right.
Yeah. And
you were frustrated, and we said, we agreed, let's put it in timeout.
Yeah, they would just it was so silly. They would just go wrong and wronger and wronger. It was as if there was no bottom to the pit. And I even silly things like I was casting on the wrong number of stitches, and I was not doing the pattern in the right place, or I was dropping stitch. I was doing things that I just didn't do, and I just had to just admit defeat and put them down. And I think they were down. I think they were in the naughty corner for about a day. That's all.
A day.
And I just spent it. It was February, and we were in a lighthouse on a coast, and we were out with the dogs. Lots with loads of air and fresh air. And I came back and thought, do you know what? This is ridiculous. And I picked them up, and it was fine. The stitches went on right. Everything went right. And I had by the time I came home, the first mitten was finished. But I think I just needed that time out. I needed that, just put them down, calm down, and relax a bit. I was so nervous about them that even here on the side of the mitten, I'd pulled it's so tight that they'd kind of like crunched in on themselves. It was silly things like that. And that advice to just take a step back. It's knitting. It's not the end of the world. Was so important.
That is it. It's like, I remember you, Steph, saying that, Sally Ann did, put her mittens in timeout. And she came back, and it was like everything was cool. And but this is the thing. I mean, the lesson in this is like, it's nothing new in this, because we've been around the block a few times, all of us. And we know that if things are going wrong, just put it down. Yeah. Go for a walk and pick it up again later, right? Because very often it's the brain that plays tricks with us, right? And this is the thing, as Steph said, knitting, the day someone dies from failing of knitting, in the Western world anyway, I don't think we're going to see it, and if we see it, it's because there are some underlying issues there, because knitting is supposed to be fun. Yes, challenging, yes, but fun. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
It
love
took a day. You were frustrated that day.
I really
So
was.
I think
Yeah,
you
I
need to
was.
put that down. Yeah.
I did. I really did. Yeah, it just, I just got to the point where it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, basically. I was just creating it. I was creating the drama myself. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We all do that.
Yeah.
I have multiple projects going, so if I need to put one down,
Yeah. I do that now. I always
Yeah.
do that. I always have a couple of things on the go. I
Yeah.
always have something big that I can really, I really like. It's so strange to say because it was the exact opposite to where I started out, but I really like to have something big. So the Eternity Shawl has been just the best thing ever for me. I love the repetitiveness. I love the fact that it just goes on and it takes ages. I love that. And I like to have something that's small and portable that I can take with me when I'm waiting for kids, picking my grandkids up and that sort of thing, and when I'm waiting in the car for them. School runs, that kind of thing. So I just like to have the different things on the go. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Celianne. When Anne and I were talking about doing this, it was so easy to pick you four. There are so many rock stars in our level 1 and level 2 in the last year, but you four are near and dear to my heart. So it's amazing how much I get involved with all of you guys and care about you guys. So it was so easy to pick you four. And there are many in our group that could have easily picked in, but I got to tell you guys, I just love you a lot. So thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for Celianne on vacation, and Anita, your growth, and Rachel. Oh my gosh, you've been so cool this year. And Tiffany, meeting you in person, I've got goosebumps. I love you all. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Steph.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Steph and Anne, and everybody else.
Anything else anyone wants to add before I do the, talk a little bit about and answer some questions and stuff? No?
Can I just quickly say that how important the community is, Anne? Do you mind?
No, I don't.
I mean, anybody who's been online and been in online spaces, that there is there's always that dark side to it. There's the horrible side to it. You hear about it all the time, but that is not a thing you need to worry about in Anne's Mountain. And Anne's Norwegian Knitting. It just isn't. The community, all these ladies are fantastic, and you will get nothing but community support, nothing but help. And there is just no nastiness. It's just so lovely. It's such a safe, welcoming space. And I think that's
so true.
that's really important to all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Sally just said. Like, it really is an amazing group of knitters, and really, I'm not seeing this anywhere. I live in an area where there's quite a few local shops. I've just not really been able to find a time or a group that I felt comfortable with. And once I joined Anne's group last year, I'm just like, oh, this is my group. These are my people. So I think this is a really tremendous community. And I'm thankful that Anne and Steph is here to kind of shepherd this all into various knitting projects. But we are so supportive of each other. So it doesn't matter what you're thinking, what you're knitting. We're all here for one another.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's beyond comprehension, really. I think that's, for me, has been really astounding how you can feel such a part of a community when you're sitting in front of a computer or a tablet or a phone. And for me, I came to realize that I actually am not as introverted as I thought, and that I do want and need community. And it still really surprises me how much of a community this is. Just so many wonderful, interesting, capable, fun-loving knitters there are in this world and in Anne's world. I love it.
And we do have people all over the world. There's Sally Ann, you're in the UK. Anita, you're in Canada. Tiffany's in the southern United States. Rachel, I don't even know where you are. Where are you today, Rachel?
I live in New England.
New England.
Yep.
I'm in Minnesota. Anne's in Norway. We've got people from the Netherlands, France, England, it's great.
Australia,
Australia.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
There are literally the big group, the big majority is from North America, but we are slowly expanding into. We had an odd European here and there, and an odd Aussie or New Zealander there and there, but now we don't have every single intake. We have Europeans coming in, so we are kind of like we're expanding slowly. Yeah, so totally. And we all speak English, at one level or another, since not all of us has English as a mother tongue. But yeah, the community section is actually a part of it. Is it's this Anne's Norwegian Knitting thing started as a course of offered a course. What is today level 2. And here we are, and everyone is talking about community. It's so hard to, and I'm going to be frank with those of you listening and watching this. It's really hard for me to sit here and tell you to join in and buy a community. Because everyone thinks that, yes, everyone says that we have a fabulous community, and yes, well, an online community, what can it really be? When you listen to these ladies, I hope that tells you that there is community, and then there's the community, and we have that second level of community, if not even third or fourth level of community. Why that has happened is a mixture of me being really persistent on some really hardcore ground rules that I have. And the second part is because I've been able to attract the right people. And Steph said it because, most people sign up to this because they've heard me or seen me talking. And if you don't like me, you don't sign up, which is fair enough. I wouldn't have done that either if I didn't like me. I'm really happy you guys do like me. So there you go. But as Steph said, we have so many rock stars in our group. Independently of what course they're in, what membership they're in, journey they're on, they're all rock stars. They really are. And we do have this. I have this mantra, as I said before, you are never behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And we keep repeating it until you dream about it. We are setting the rules, on how to do that. And we stick to it. And we tell people that, no, that's not according to the rules. Stop it. I think in those 5 years I've done this, I think I've had 3 occasions where I've had to tell people to step back a bit. So, and that means that everyone understands what's going on, right? And on top of that, we have this, what I feel is that, and what I always say is that you never go into Anne's Norwegian with a half glass full, not half empty kind of approach. We always use the half full approach. And that is so fundamentally setting the scene for everything we do, that we are deciding when we have a crappy day, because we all have crappy days all the time. But when we go in here, we decide to do it on the positive note, right? And that means that we very often go out on the positive note as well. So yeah, so we started with a course, and I'm selling you a course, but what you're getting, and I keep saying that to the Northern Lighters, especially because they see me a lot and they hear a lot about my philosophies for life. You think you sign up for a course, but you're actually signing up for some life coaching here, because I'm imposing on you my view on life. And that's important. And those who don't like that, they leave. Those who like it, they stay, and they stay year after year after year. That being said, I'm not teaching level 1 and level 2. That's Steph doing right now. So you don't have to listen that much to me. I'm popping in and I'm doing a bit here, there, and everywhere. But just know that you think you sign up for a course, you're going to get so much more. Just know that. and you're gonna, you get forever access, and you can join in again and again and again. What we have introduced this year is that we're introducing a second level 2+, which is kind of they get an extra hour of coaching every week, but you have to finish the first model first before you get access to that, because we want you to finish the pattern once, following the pattern, doing the adaptations that you teach, but going beyond that is not the first time thing, because the first time thing, that's the first time you do this, then you want to do it. Everyone wants to do it the same way, because we're going to confuse everyone if you start diving down rabbit holes. The rabbit holes are for the 2+ers that has finished their first round of level 2, or not the first round, finished their first garment. If you did a sweater, it needs to be finished, and send us a picture with a finished sweater, on you, or that's what we're doing this year. So that this year we are kind of, for those who, if you want to do big changes, then you have to do the first model first, because it's a reason why the course is put out as it is. It's following a natural development, right? Did that make sense to you guys? I know I'm sometimes babbling a bit. Was that understandable, Steph?
Yep. Yeah. I would just say, if you join level 2, you finish the level 2 project as written. 2+ will take you on deep dives anywhere you want to go. So if you want to do so you do it once, and then 2+ is taking you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah. So just so you know, and that's basically because for those of you who do sign in, you will see that we are talking and hear that we're talking about the 2+, but that's what it's going to be. But you will be eligible for that down the road, and then you will be invited in. It's an add-on, because there's extra coaching for a year, so you pay a small sum for it. So I did see someone asking about this jumper or sweater, or, before I started this Norwegian knitting thing, I called this a jumper, because I was British. I still am kind of British, but being with you guys, I had to convert to sweater. So this is now, I'm talking about sweaters all the time now. But you heard Sally Ann saying jumper. It's the correct name for this. This is a jumper, So we have some fun about this around this language thing on the inside. This is only available in Norwegian, and it's not even that, because it's not available at all, but it's written in Norwegian, and it's a really crappy pattern. I might adapt it and give it out in the Northern Lights or in the mountain at some point down the road. I don't know. But the pattern as is today is crappy. I can't use it. I can't give it to you guys. It was written before I started this English-speaking pattern journey, because my patterns has evolved, I tell you, since I did this for Norwegians until now, when I do it for non-Norwegians in English, the patterns are non-recognizable. Right, Steph? Because you've seen the Norwegian patterns. So that being said, for those of you who want to do, if you are on my email list, you will get an email in an hour or so, where you get a link for the sign up to level 2 or level 1 if you want that. The level 1 is a self-study course. And you will get access to that immediately. And then in January, you will be invited into the live teaching, because we teach it live in January, February every year. The level 2 is the welcome call is on this coming Thursday. And then there is a bonus call to support you on color choices and yarn choices and stuff on Saturday. And then we have another couple of weeks, and then we start the teaching on the 17th. For those of you who want to join any of this, the level 1 is going to be there. It's there. And also level 0. That also level 0 is part of the mountain as well, for those of you who want to join the mountain journey. But if you want to buy the course to keep, you can do that. That link will be in the email. If you want to join the level 2 this autumn, it closes at midnight Pacific on Wednesday this week. That is the same as 9 o'clock in the morning, Central European time. That would be 8 o'clock in the morning, UK and Ireland time. Just so you know, on Thursday, that is. But in the US and Canada, it's on midnight Pacific, in the middle of the night, Eastern time. Just so you know. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us a message to hello@vitamdesign.no. And if you have any questions right now, use that chat, because we're here, and it's gonna be here a couple of more times, minutes. The level 2 here is the link to the level 2 for those of you who have decided after listening to this awesome crowd. The level 1 is not part of the mountain. Someone asks that. The level 1 is a separate course. You get it if you're in the fjord or in the Northern Light, you get it automatically. If you are not, that is a paid course. The level 2 is a $497 US dollars course, and you have it forever, and you can join as many times as you want during the live teaching. If you want to go into the 2+ down the road, you have to pay a bit extra, but that's down the road. For those of you who want level 1, that's a $297 US dollars kind of course. Same goes there. You have it, you get access right away. You self-study, but you are invited in, and you can do it as many times as you want. Every January and February, we're doing the teaching. If we 1 year is not doing the teaching, that's just the way it is. But we are, that's how we kind of plan it. Then the level 0 is a self-study course, and you get that either as buy it your own course at $197 US dollars, or if you join the mountain, you have access as long as you have the mountains. The teaching on our courses are always done on Thursdays, except from the level 3, which is on Wednesdays. Then we do Q&As on Mondays. And the times for all this is the same for all the courses. We're always doing it at 9 p.m. for the teaching and 9 p.m. for the Q&A on Monday, p.m. Central European time. Those times, all that is coming up for those of you who are on the inside, it's in, I know I mentioned it a couple of times, but it is in the meetups awfully soon. We are working on it, but it's the teaching hours are the same, no matter what course. The Q&A for the level 3, for those of you who are listening, that's on Monday as well, and that's after the Q&A for the level 2. So that's a bit later. Any other questions that we have in here? I see that there are. I see Brenda, and Brenda left a comment on Facebook earlier today, and she left the same today. And I'm really, really happy, Brenda, that you do that. I so appreciate it. Level 2 is the best course ever. I sit in every time it's offered, and always learn something new. And Brenda has just started her year 3, so that should tell you something. That she's been, sitting in on level 2 quite a few times now. And she also said that I used 3 pattern sizes in my level 2 sweater. And again, it just proves that it is able, as Steph said, these patterns, the sizes, are meant for those young people that never have had kids, that never have had been around, that haven't been around the block as many times as we have, and you do get some bumps there and then when you go around those blocks, many enough times. And but I've always been like this, actually, kind of, because I am a hippie person. I'm not the hippie 70s kind of person, but I got hips, family trait, hips, lots of them. Yes, there are 2 of them, but sometimes it seems like there are much more than 2. But I have always had a small upper body, so I've been like size. I used to be a size A in bras, right? I'm not that anymore, but I was that for a long, long time. But I still was like a medium to large over my hips, right? Always been, will always be. So I never, and then sweaters are made in the wrong size because they're too big here and too small there. And then, you know, how to adapt that. That's what we focus on in level 2. So, yeah. Who is ID Gem 100? You don't have to say that here, but I've seen you so many times, and I know you are in the Northern Lights, and I wonder who you are, or in at least in the mountain in there. 1 seconds, Brenda. Level 2 is the best and the most complete sweater knitting course ever. Thank you, Yvonne. That's a compliment. So now you know. If you're on the verge, if you're sitting there, I know there are a lot of you guys sitting here listening now that are already in, but for those of you who are on the fence, make sure you jump down on the right side of that fence and join us. And this is the thing, when I get you on the inside, you're never going to leave. So there you go. Anything else we should add before we go? I would love it if you click like and leave a comment and click a follow if you're here and you haven't done any of that before. That would be awesome. And also tomorrow there is the Fair Isle versus Norwegian Knitting little presentation by Anne, and this one is important because we need to get our terminology right. I'm a language person, just so you know. A mathematical language person. Okay. Anything else, Steph? Should we add anything else? Until next time, knit some beautiful stitches, right?
Create what makes you happy.
Oh, that's a good one. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Lifetime access to level 1. All my courses, lifetime access. Now I'm going. Bye.
Stay, Rachel. Stay.